Thank you guys for joining us for episode 62 of Black Coffee and Crime. As always, I'm here. Jackie's here. Brandy is somewhere in the universe where you can hear her voice but not see her face, but she is present. So you will be hearing her throughout the time that we're here. So we do want to thank you guys for joining us again. All new subscribers here on YouTube, also new followers on Facebook and on Instagram. So we do thank you for being here. Thank you for coming back. If this is your first time, just hold on. The way this goes is we have a subject that we're supposed to talk about. We just don't know how we're going to talk about it yet. So everything is always a surprise on this show. It is completely unscripted. Um, might be tad a bit offensive. If we ever have anything that's a trigger warning, we'll let you know. Please protect your mental and your spirit. So if it feels wrong, click out and come back next week. That's all I can say. Don't continue to watch it if it's offensive, or click out and keep going. Sometimes we laugh at inappropriate times. That's just what we do because we're human. And it's our show, so yeah. If we misspeak, nothing wrong, let us know politely in the comments, either YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram at Black Coffee Crime on both of those. And we'll respond in kind. If it's something that we can correct, we will do so. We get this information from the internet and from articles and watching documentaries. So if they got it wrong, we'll probably get it wrong.
What was that?
Yeah. And then we just give our opinions on what we think happened, why it happened, and what we would do in similar situations.
We do have one church announcement. We got a graduate.
We need to issue some congratulations to Jackie here. Jackie has started on a new career path to be a nail tech, and she has graduated from her program. So here soon she'll be taking some state boards, and she'll be a certified licensed nail tech and bringing in some serious dollars, because we all know that these cost a lot. A lot of money.
Yeah, thank you, ladies.
Jackie does great work. I've seen what she's done. She's done my nails before. And like she just, from 2 years ago until now, like the improvement that I've,
thank you.
Is great. It's great. Like, so I look at Jackie's work and then I steal Jackie's work. I know.
She does it. She does good too.
I'll see what she does if she posts work and I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna do those nails. I'm gonna do those nails. So, yeah. So that's what I do. So if you see, if you see me with a great set of nails, either Jackie did them or she inspired me to do. But either way, it's Jackie's. Congratulations to Jackie. So welcome. So those are our announcements as follows. Please go.
What about Brandy? What about BW? She's in a sick shut-in.
She said she'll be on sick and shut in all year. So
yeah, well,
yeah.
Keep her in prayer this week.
Yeah, keep Brandy in prayer.
Keep her in prayer. Yes.
I'm recording from a sick bed.
We're not gonna be able to show out like we usually do. Get in trouble.
If she's here, she's still gonna show out. So
like we normally do.
Yes, if you can hear the sound of her voice, you are still going to hear the shenanigans coming out of her voice. So
I'm yet living. Yet
living and yet holding. Amen and amen again.
Hallelujah.
All right. So you govern yourselves accordingly. Please obey your ushers and respect your pastor at all times. All right. So sad news. The 9-year-old boy who attended Astroworld a couple weeks ago passed away. His name is Blount. He was injured at the concert, trampled at the festival, and he passed away. He was in a coma and he passed away. Also, there was earlier this week, there was the student, well, I think she went to the University of Texas, the UT student. She also succumbed to her injuries that she got at the festival. So I think the count is up to 11 now? No, it's
Did 10 or
not.
11?
So it's 10. It's 10. So the girl who died earlier this week, about 4 days ago, she was 22, the student, and then Ezra made it 10. Yeah. So,
That's horrible.
so this is just stacking up. And, you still have, other people who have, were injured at the festival. So you just don't know what's going to happen with them. And I think there's like 40 different lawsuits right now, or 40, more than
Yeah,
40 different lawsuits going right now.
Against him
Um,
or against the promoters?
I think
him,
the promoters. Those
Drake,
against him?
yeah, Travis
I
Scott,
saw some
Drake,
about it
promotion,
today.
promoters. I was talking with Brandy earlier this week, and I was saying that, what was it, yesterday or yesterday, that
Yesterday, I think.
yeah, that like his career, like Travis Scott's career is ruined. And then Brandy brought it up, like, people have short memories and people will forgive the unforgivable. But money doesn't forgive, because we as fans, I'm not a fan because I don't think I've ever listened to anything that I think he was in on a track with Kendrick Lamar, and that's the only reason I know Travis Scott. But the people who have to insure these shows and ensure the bonding for these shows, I don't think they'll mess with him for a big show anymore.
Now,
I think it'll be
I'm
for
trying to
a while.
find the lawyer that was representing everybody. I can't remember. I was trying to look for his name. It's a lawyer that's representing everybody.
Crump. He always
Is that who's doing it?
he's
Is that who it is?
representing the boys family. I know the little boy. He's an ambulance chaser.
Yeah, he took on a
Yeah.
lot of them. He took on like almost a quarter of the cases for so far, for sure. Because I saw it, I
His
was like,
firm or him personally?
His firm. It's
his
never.
firm.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's just like Johnny Cochran's firm. I mean, they took on a lot of cases. So did Lee Merritt.
Was he an ambulance chaser?
Johnny Cochran.
Yeah.
Johnny Cochran, who defended OJ. This is Johnny Cochran talking about.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying,
I don't remember him being an ambulance chaser like that.
Benjamin Crump was an ambulance chaser.
I think he looked him and that woman. What's her name?
Gloria Allred. She's definitely an ambulance chaser. She will pick up a case. If you stub your toe, she'll say it's discrimination because the curb that you stubbed it on didn't, wasn't regulation height or some crap. So she'll pick up any sort of case. Benjamin Crump, I just think that he's a very smart attorney, and you can't make money if you don't have clients. And he wouldn't have clients if people didn't do anything wrong.
I wonder how much he cost.
I mean, Lee Merritt here in Texas. Lee Merritt is representing the family of Ahmaud Arbery. So, I mean, he's an attorney in the DFW. He also represented the attorney of Botham Jean. So, I mean,
I just saw that damn thing today. I can't believe I can't find it.
Yeah. So prayers go out to those families. Interesting but very sick story today, and I sent it to you guys. This was the headline on the Neighborhood Talk. Says 2 Arkansas men plead guilty to sexually assaulting a 6-year-old girl after the hospital found out she had STIs.
The baby?
Yes. Basically, what happened is this little girl went to the hospital and they checked her out. She had sexually transmitted infection. So they had to investigate. An FBI investigator questioned the little girl, and she told them a story that she was assaulted. She was raped. That's what it says in the article from the written piece in the Neighborhood Talk on Instagram. That she was raped by one man behind a curtain in a hotel room. Her description was so on point that they were able to go back to the same hotel. Based on his baby's description, go to the hotel, to the room, and she described this room down to the pictures on the wall. And where one picture had been moved, there was like the shadow where it used to be. She was able to describe this. And there was also a second man involved. So she identified the men. Here's the bad part though, if it can get any worse. The room was rented by her mother.
Holy sh!
She has since been removed. This happened 2 years ago. In 2018, the men were Demarcus George, 27, and Mario Waters, 33. These were grown ass men.
Nasty.
Yes. Let's see here. She said that this is from the article. It says the little girl said that the rape occurred in a hotel room with a curtain in the middle of the room, and she described a picture of him on a wall in the hotel room. So this happened in Little Rock, Arkansas. So they were able to track it down based on the description that she gave.
You said a curtain where?
Arkansas, Little Rock.
No, you said a curtain and where in the room?
In the room, there was a curtain in the middle of the room. So you know how some rooms have dividers, like a room divider. So like from, and so they raped her behind the curtain. Where was the mother?
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah. Was she on the other side of that curtain?
That's why I was asking, like, where was she? Was she on the other side? Acting like she don't know nothing?
That's not apparent here.
Because then you're like, well, what is she leaving there for? And if the mother rented the room, she's the one that had to let him in. So,
well, the men admitted that they were sex traffickers.
What was the mama doing with sex traffickers in the room?
Yeah,
It says both admitted in court that they had sexual contact with the minor and were involved in trafficking her with others. So my take on this may not be true. My take on this, she sold that baby to them.
Thank you.
That's my take on that. She owed them money.
I was just when you said the curtain, the first thing I thought was, oh, she trying to pay some debt.
And she gave that baby to them for that purpose. That's my take on it.
Think about the mama.
They say it just says that the minor's mother rented a room at the hotel March 18 and paid with a credit card. The little girl has since.
What did they arrest her? Is what I'm asking.
Now, this is the only article I've read on this subject, so I wasn't able to look at I didn't have a chance today to look at other articles or look for them regarding this. But yeah, she rented that room. So they didn't break in that room. They didn't break in that room.
She knew she rented the room because she knew she had debt to pay.
Yep.
She had already sacrificed over her child. That's what it's looking like.
Then poor child got STDs.
Yeah. Yep. And and in cases like that, not only are you doing grown men physically breaking this child, so there's no telling what you've done to her reproductive possibilities. The STIs that she's gotten may have damaged her as well, because it didn't say which one she had, but they just said she was taken to the hospital because she was sick. And they did blood and urine tests, and that's how the test came back. So immediately, of course, why would this 6-year-old have STIs? So now you got to do a whole exam, and you got to put her through a pelvic exam, and put her through more trauma. Yeah.
Yeah, because the mom paid her debt. That's why they left. Debt was paid.
And they said they were involved in trafficking her. So my thing is also, Were there any other people involved after the fact? If you were involved in trafficking her, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, how many other people touched this baby
Yeah.
after between that night and the time that she was taken to the hospital?
So brutal.
Yeah, that when I saw that this morning, I was like, oh, this, no, I can't.
Too brutal.
I cannot. It's too much. It's too much. All right. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and jump into talking about the worst meeting at work ever. You know that
Wait, we're not gonna talk about John Rittenhouse and that fake ass crime.
or we talk about intervention. Yes. Can I just say that man is going to
Because
walk?
he's already trending as a meme because he was fake as hell.
That boy is about to walk.
Yes, he is.
He's about to walk out of that courtroom on probation, but otherwise as a free man.
Mm-hmm. They already dropped the charges for
They dropped the underage gun charge.
Underage gun charges. And they were like, well, we got the other ones. No, baby. That show right there was going to happen. It's a wrap. He is done. He's good.
Can we call a mistrial? The judge is
he was standing up there talking to him, relaxing after the
lunch, and I hope it's not on one of those. It's not Chinese because it's stuck on one of these shit.
Well, it was Chinese, so he said he hope it's not late. It's not stuck in one of them ships, and it's not late or something like that.
He's ordering his lunch with the paper on the bed.
Him and his mom put that fiasco out on in the show in the courtroom. I was like, this dude for the walk.
He's gonna walk. He is going to walk. And all I can say is, I'll say this. For all these gangsters and street boys and criminals and all this stuff, these Billy badasses walking around the streets, y'all let George Zimmerman walk this earth. I don't know how you do it. There's no way that George Zimmerman is still walking around. So if Kyle,
when I tell you I hate that man, I hate that man. I don't hate anybody. I hate him.
I don't know. So all I'm saying is that Kyle Rittenhouse and George Zimmerman are in the same boat. Why are they still walking around? Y'all bad. Y'all kill each other for nothing.
Make it make sense.
Y'all got all the reason in the world to do something to take care of a problem with the initials GV or KR. That's all I'm saying, because I don't want nobody coming in because we're gonna get.
And you heard of
but that young man didn't cry when you went across state lines to shoot people. How was that self-defense? Because if I go in your house, if I break in your house with a gun, if I brought the gun with me and I break in your house and we fight and I shoot you, that is not self-defense, because you broke a law to get there in the first place with the weapon. That's not self-defense.
Yeah, make it make sense. They don't make sense. Do it.
Well, you see if the All Lives Matter folks is out there protesting, because it was white folks that got killed.
I mean, even in that case, but that even makes it worse, because where are y'all protecting when you say all lives matter?
Where are you
protecting the people who he shot? They were white. But you want black people to defend those people, and we did. But you want black people to defend them too. This makes it even worse. And the reason why he's gonna walk is because the incident was a Black Lives Matter incident.
Thank you. That's why.
They were protesting. Black Lives Matter was the biggest protester that night. So there you go. So it was a black event. And so he felt that you needed to come from Illinois to Minnesota. No, Wisconsin.
That's right. Yeah. I hope all these thugs, You sure ready to kill Pookie them around the corner,
And
you know what I'm
that
saying?
he
It was
was
a dice game. Let Pookie let you think Pookie cheated. Let you think he
his
cheated.
mama gonna be bringing out her best suit.
You gonna let it be known that that's what's gonna happen. But nah.
Y'all just gonna watch the trial like everybody else and be like, that's bullshit. Yeah, it is. It is. It is. It is. And his performance on the stand, he he could have made a penny cry with as bad as he was pinching his eyes closed. And nothing came out. He should have put onions on the inside of his finger,
And then did it.
like the people did at the January 6th Capitol riots. The lady put the onion on her finger so she could cry. That's what he should do. Because it was pitiful. It was the most pitiful performance, and he was
It definitely he was.
and then he would kind of look at the jury like, "Did you see me cry?" And then he would go back.
I don't think people even know these folks is all, pro his case or whatever. I think they think he shot some black folks.
Yeah.
I don't think they
They
know
just
that.
saying they think it, so that's why they
They
so
just know
much
it was a Black
for it.
Lives Matter protest.
Yeah.
That's all people think is the Black Lives Matter protest. I mean, in the large, in a bigger sense, it doesn't matter who the hell you shot. It's the fact that you went there to shoot somebody. Like that was your purpose. You went there with the sole purpose of shooting. You didn't have any other. And it was gleeful because there you got you on camera.
He was signing autographs and all kind of.
Yeah, they got you on camera running through the streets with your gun. Gleeful. Like, oh, I got some, it's all bad. It's all bad. I have no my only expectation is that he's gonna get probation. That's what. And let's talk about the other trial, the Ahmaud Arbery trial. No, it's not the Ahmaud Arbery trial because he's not on trial. The men who killed him are on trial. The defense attorney got nerve enough to say, I don't want any black preachers.
Any more black preachers.
Anymore.
And they will sway the jury.
Well, Jesse Jackson was there today. He wanted him out too.
Can
Y'all
we?
think Jesse Jackson even knew what was going on?
Yeah. Even though
he burnt out that fall.
And he had dementia, but I think he was Brandy. Jackie don't. Don't you do it. Don't you give in to the dark side. I told you she was gonna be on her bullshit. Sick or not, Brandy was gonna be on her bullshit.
I had that drink in my mouth.
Sick or not, Brandy's on her bullshit. Okay, we're gonna go past that. I think Jesse knew why he was there. To answer that question. You done, Jackie? I'm gonna wait for you.
She's so random. Okay. She's so random. I'm good though. I could lift it, let it ran off with it, but I'm gonna suck it up. G today. I'm not going to fall.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm gonna
Don't.
spit that drink out though.
Yeah, I knew. That's why I was like, I'm gonna wait for you.
Okay.
We're good. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and move on to Amy Bishop because
Yeah, don't even leave it open for me.
now she ain't got nothing to say. Now she's silent.
I'm just saying. He fresh off that fall. He ain't been too good. He might have went in and out. He up there. He might not remember where he was.
We're done talking about that. We're not talking about that more.
But anyway, he was in court today, and the guy did say something about him being here and wanting him thrown out. But I'm like, what is he going to do with him sitting there? I don't understand. What's him sitting in the court have to do with anything? You can't present your case with him sitting in the court.
What you scared of? Well, we already know what they're scared of. So, all right. Let's talk about Amy Bishop. Uh, uh, Amy Bishop was she's still alive, but that ain't her job anymore. She was a professor at University of Alabama at Huntsville. And have y'all ever seen that meme? Oh, I know y'all have the meme of Annalise from How to Get Away with Murder when she pick up her purse. Like y'all could have just
You like this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
listen. If nobody else embodies, y'all should have sent an email. It was Amy.
Not funny. Not
It's
funny
not
at all.
funny, but it is kind of funny.
Not
Like
funny.
this should have
I
been
laughed. I'm saying it's not funny because I'm laughing. You know, I always get in trouble for laughing at everything that's inappropriate. So it's not funny.
right. But seriously though, this should have been an email. Like, yeah. So this is the way it goes. So got this professor. She's a Harvard educated professor. She's even taught at Harvard Medical School. Okay. She went to Northeastern University, then she went to Harvard. She got a doctoral degree in genetics from Harvard. So she's a pretty big fish in a small pond, right? She started working at University of Alabama, Huntsville in 2003. Yes, in 2003. And let me see here. Yes, in 2003. So she's working. She goes up for tenure, and she's denied in 2009. Now, tenure to a professor is like you in like Flynn. They basically can't even fire you if you have tenure as a professor at the university. That means you can work there for the rest of your life, and then your ranking kind of just goes up. If you don't get tenure as a professor, basically your contract is ended and you gotta go. You can try someplace else, but basically you're starting from the bottom, working your way up. She taught like 5 or 6 classes for those,
Right.
Every semester for those 6 years. So she was denied tenure. She appealed the decision, and a year later, she was denied tenure in March of 2009. February 10th, 2010, oh, wait a minute. It was February 12th. I'm sorry. She goes into a department meeting, and casually shoots 6 people, killing 3, injuring the other 3. She did that in an execution style manner.
Yeah.
Just kind of like boom, 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 boom. She started with the people close to her and went around and around kind of thing. Like, hey, introduce yourself, kind of shit. And then goes into the bathroom, casually calls her husband to ask him, are they still on for dinner? And then the kids do their homework. And then when they arrest her, she's like, there's no way I didn't do this. They're still alive. So she didn't deny that she shot them. She just didn't think they died. Yeah. All right. So I don't know if you guys have seen the picture of Amy. Did you? I think this is completely off color. So be ready for the trigger. I think she did it because her bob was stupid. She did it because of the bob. Let's see. Okay, so let's talk about her life. So we'll go back to her previous life. Let's talk about the shooting because that also has a lot. So apparently in her academic career, like I said, she's a big fish in a small pond because she went to Harvard, she taught at Harvard, and then she goes to University of Alabama.
You know, they said she barely made it out of there.
Right. Exactly. She was a big fish in a small pond at UAB. But apparently she wasn't that great at Harvard.
Nope.
There were, an anonymous source said that she really shouldn't have even gotten her doctorate degree. She shouldn't have gotten it. Her
Sound like it.
paper, her thesis was like some long ass name. Uh, the name of her thesis. It was called, her 1993 dissertation was titled "The Role of Xanthine in the Respiratory Burst of Phagocytes." That means. Something to do with your central nervous system or something. But an anonymous source that said that her work was poor quality and undeserving of a doctoral degree. Yeah. So she was smart, but not that smart. It's kind of like,
She thought she was super smart though.
right. Here's the thing about it though. Her mom was like a county, well, I don't know if they call them counties in Massachusetts because of the Commonwealth, so the terminology might be a little bit different. But her mom was like a county or township or whatever official. Her father was an art history professor at Northeastern where she did her undergrad. Her second cousin is the novelist John Irving. He writes some huge ass books. So she kind of had like her resume was spotless. Her resume was impeccable. But it's kind of like the kid who gets you're a smart kid and you can
You're a
hang with
smart
the
kid
smart
where
kids,
you're
but you're
at.
the dumbest smart kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
you're smart where you're at, but when you go into the world, you're not as smart as
exactly.
everybody else.
Right. So she gets to Harvard, but she's at the low of the totem pole at Harvard. And I don't know, I don't think I'd want to get into Harvard and not be a top performer at Harvard. Like if I get to
Definitely don't want
Harvard,
to be barely getting your degree. You don't want to be in
right,
that.
I want them to say like that girl has it together at Harvard. You know what I mean? Not like, damn, I don't even remember her. She barely passed my class. That means I'm not as smart as I thought I was, or not as smart as my high school people thought I was. So that was Amy Bishop basically. She seems like she was quite entitled. She was an amateur novelist. She wrote like 4 books, but they never got published. She was a part of some book clubs or writing groups. And basically, what she would do is she would talk about John Irving, her second cousin, and basically draw from her connections rather than her own work, which was kind of like mediocre anyway. One of her novels that she wrote was about a professor who unleashes a herpes like virus
Mhm.
on the world. Well, guess what? There was a bombing. She was questioned in a bombing that had something to do with a herpes like virus.
This bitch crazy.
Right. Also, was it night? Didn't she send a letter bomb or something to a professor because she didn't get what she
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
wanted?
Harvard.
A
Yeah,
pipe.
because
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
she's to the Harvard guy because she didn't get tenure. Was it for tenure there too?
No, I
I
think
think
she
so.
No, no.
had,
Or she?
No, let me see. I had it written.
I don't think it was tenure. I don't think she got like a research grant or something.
No, it wasn't.
Let's see here. Yeah, she said 2 failed letter bombs to Paul Rosenberg, her medical school professor. He was her supervisor, a lab supervisor, and he gave her
Mm-hmm.
negative
Make
evaluation
evaluation.
and he called for her resignation.
It's
She
not
said
funny.
2 letter bombs. And she said that, uh, well, at this time, she was supposed to be after this happened, on the verge of a nervous breakdown. Um, she was not charged in this incident. Um, Yeah. So all this was coming out after she did the shooting in Huntsville. Also, okay, so the thing is, she's at the school, she's teaching at the school, she's weird, she's not a great teacher. She gets complaints from the students. Her colleagues are like, well, we don't like her like that.
Yeah.
But, she's not a very personable person. And she does stuff. But every time she does something, it's always shoved under the rug. But once she does the shooting and she kills people, all this shit comes out. So in 2002, she assaulted the lady at IHOP.
Yeah. Over a booster seat.
Talking about, I'm Dr. Amy Bishop. Ma'am, you are a professor. You are not a medical doctor. Are you Dr. Detroit? Because you probably have the same credentials. Like, going on. So she assaulted the lady at the IHOP. Basically, nothing happened, and she pled guilty, and she got probation, and she was supposed to go to anger management. She didn't go.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't
Yeah,
go.
Did you talk about the brother shooting?
No, not yet. Just me. I know, let's go back. But so she's a bad lab assistant.
Mm-hmm.
She gets a negative review. Her boss asks her to quit. She sends him 2 letter bombs.
2 strikes.
Yeah. And then in 2002, she also assaulted the lady over the booster seat at the IHOP. She gets probation. And supposed to go to anger management. She never goes. Okay, she violated her probation after she didn't go to her anger management. That should have been a violation. Therefore, she should have never gotten the job at UAB.
UAH.
UAH. Right. She should have never gotten a job.
I named off 3 strikes.
So let's talk about what Jackie just said. Back in 1986, she said that she was cleaning a shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
And
putting bullets in it, or I think she was putting bullets in it.
Yeah.
But she didn't know how to take the bullets out.
Well, she got them out. One hit the wall, one hit her 18-year-old brother in the chest. He died. So the mother, Amy Bishop's mom, and Amy said that it was an accident.
Well, don't forget that she also pointed the gun at the moving car.
Yes. So even after that, she pointed a gun
all
at
these accidents, just want to bring about that.
They found a live round in the gun, meaning she racked that gun again. Because she shot twice. Why did you shoot twice with a shotgun? As an accident. One went into the wall, one went into your brother. How the hell was that an accident?
Because you have to.
That's like committing suicide by gun and shooting yourself twice. Fuck you do that.
And shotguns, some of them you have to cock. Some of them. So I just assumed she had to cock.
You gotta rack you gotta pull back with a shotgun. So how did you do that twice? How did you do this twice? Well, her mom was
12 gauge shotgun you have to cock.
Yeah.
So
it was an accident. The state police basically agreed with the mom, district attorney, didn't file charges. There were absolutely no charges filed, barely an investigation on this. In 1988, the records of the shooting gone bye-bye. They were gone. There's nothing. Her brother, was her brother named Sean or Shane? Brad, was it Sean, her brother?
Her name was Seth.
Seth. Her brother's name was Seth.
She named her
So
son after her brother.
she named her son after her brother, and we'll talk about what happened with her son in a minute. Um, Sort of like the cosmic kick in the ass with this. So that happens. She goes on with her life. She kills her brother. She goes on with her life. And then we get to University of Huntsville, and she kills her colleagues.
Mm-hmm.
Her colleagues were in on the review board. So she did that. She didn't even like go after the people who were on the review board.
Just the colleagues.
She just went into the
Her
meeting.
colleagues were on the review board.
But like,
Her
you don't
colleagues
know
were on
who
the
said what.
board.
But you didn't know who said what though. So she was just kind of doing it at random. When she filed
Well,
her,
she had a little friend. Her friend that was one of her friends. I can't think of her name. It starts with the M. She knew about it, and they would talk about it. I think even at the meeting that really was about stuff that was going to have to happen the following semester, which meant she really didn't need to be there because she wasn't going to be there the following semester. She asked her had she found a new job yet before the meeting.
was that the lady named Moriarty?
Yeah, that's the one that she was very familiar
Trying to kill
with.
the last, like
that,
she kind of chased her down.
Yeah, that's the one she chased her down in the hallway.
Yeah,
she grabbed her and was
she says, it says here that someone called her crazy, referred to her as crazy. So she found that out and she filed a complaint alleging sexual discrimination. She also cited the professor's remark. Basically, she said that what the professor said about her being crazy was a part of the discrimination. However, he's like, I said what I said. I said what I said. And didn't really prove him to be wrong. So Brandy and I were talking about this. So the question goes to be, was she of sound mind and body when she committed the murder? That
I know they did an evaluation and she had some mental problems prior to. I do know that. But I think she was in sound mind. I do.
Oh, yeah.
I think a part of her was fully aware of what was going on. Especially considering her track record. So,
and considering the fact she took the gun to the meeting.
Yeah. So
9mm Ruger to the meeting.
So yes, I think she was sound mind. But I do think she got some problems. I just don't think it was enough to say that that's why she did it. No, she did it because she wanted to do it. Even though her husband was visiting, she was like, what happened? Of course.
That Amy had always had some mental issues. Of course, prior to her shooting her brother, all of this. And she had also this sense of entitlement, this narcissistic sense of entitlement. And with her being denied tenure, it's like, I graduated from Harvard. I taught at Harvard. How dare you, the University in Huntsville, Alabama, say that I'm not qualified to work here?
Yep.
And she didn't have those same social ties in Alabama as she did in Massachusetts. So she didn't have anybody to say she can, to pull the strings and say she can work here. So she didn't have that to rely on. So she's like, how dare you say I can't work here, that I'm not qualified?
Well, they said she was
what she always does.
Too. They said she was a weirdo back at the house too. She was a weirdo then.
Oh, when she was younger?
Mm-hmm.
So,
she had been getting away with all the crimes that she had been doing all the rest of her life. I think she thought she could really get away with it. If she just said this and acted this way, since she was smarter than everybody else, and she was very narcissistic, and we know how they feel. They think they're right no matter. It's either way it goes, they can find out how they are the person that is that's the victim, no matter what situation. So she just thought she can get away with it. That's what she thought. She thought she was going to be able to talk herself out of it. Yeah. She was pissed off and took it out on the cops.
And when she was walking out, and she's like, no, this didn't happen. There's no way.
Yes.
They're still alive. Like to her, it's just I just shot them. Like it's no big deal. I just shot them. Like come on, man, you didn't just shoot them.
Execution style. Oof.
You went around the room.
She was blocking the door. Like she was standing in front of the door so they didn't have
They
nowhere to go.
can't get out.
If I think I'm just gonna be honest, if I think I'm gonna die, I'm not even allowed to go for it. Just me. I feel like I'm in a lose.
That's what her friend Moriarty ended up doing. She tried to talk to her, and then she kind of gave the other survivors the, kind of courage to rush the room and kind of get her out of the way and push her away from the door. But so many opportunities were missed with this woman. When she left Harvard with the letter bombs, why weren't charges filed at that time? Because she should have been stopped right there. She would have never been able to get another job. She would have been in jail. The incident at IHOP, she should have had that on her record as a probation violation because she didn't complete her probation responsibilities. That would have prevented her from being able to work. All these times, things were missed, and she just kind of ramped up and ramped up and ramped up. And I think that, she just, because no one ever stopped her, she's like, I can still do whatever. Like, the world is going to bow to me. I'm Amy Bishop, and I have this bob, and I'm going to be able to.
You got the Tina Bob burger.
Bob. The bob. That is the worst. Her bob is on
Lord Farquaad.
Lord Farquaad. And Miss Purdy from Nutty Professor.
Yeah. It was stiff.
Because that was the stiffest bob I've ever seen.
I always thought that.
And I think with a different haircut, she wouldn't have looked as deranged. But the vibe, I mean, she has. Did she not get the memo that she was a white woman and her bob didn't need to look like that?
Well, she still has a bob. It's just a little bit different.
Is it still nappy though?
No, it's shaped different. Her
bob it's a little bit more clingy to the face.
Yeah.
The other one sat by right here. That one was clean. It like sucks underneath.
It's a softer bob. But it is Lord Farquaad.
Fucking psycho, man. Look psycho.
One of them ladies at Tutwiler, one of them sisters at Tutwiler. You know who else has a bob like that?
You can see his frame though.
Yeah. You know who else's bob was like that? Y'all remember the mom and dad who had them kids in Paris, California? And they were starving the kids?
Yeah.
The husband had a bob.
Yeah, that was his bob. But he had some hair up on top too that was doing something. But yeah, he had a bob like that.
I think that's the time. I just like.
I always think, what always pisses me off about bobs when I see people and it tucks under this way, but it flips. That shit pisses me off. Like, why the hell are you okay with this? Why the hell aren't you trying to curl it so it can all come under or flip it up? Why is half of it curl under and other flip up? It's a pet peeve of mine, and I just never understood why it does that. Does she have one of those? Yup, look at this shit. She had one in court. It was flipped up right here and rolled under right here.
Send it in the group chat.
Maybe she laid on her rollers wrong. I'm pretty sure they were gonna give her a hot comb.
Pisses me off. Don't do that shit. Like, just fix your damn bob. Like, don't do that. Why are you walking out in public? That shit be pissing me off. And here she goes, little psychopath.
She mad for real.
It's so ugly.
Oh God. Check this out, y'all. Let me check this out. Oh, God.
Well, she didn't have no hot comb. She didn't have no roller. That's something she could really good with.
She had time to she you know what she doing when she brush, she do like this, but if she get on this side, she go like this.
Gotta do like this instead of
It's
going up under, like getting. Oh
just
my
it
It don't
just
god.
even look like her hair is combed at all in that picture. So
Ooh, ew, y'all need
she
to air in my face. I cannot. Oh,
crazy
that is
ass.
hot like fish grease, y'all.
This is crazy.
Oh, oh, she
she got
had.
a
Just
whole jumpsuit right there. I don't think she combed her hair.
Ooh.
That's just from the night her
I
tussling.
don't think that Amy Bishop combed her hair from that one picture that she has it when you said she looked like Huxtable when Vanessa did the locomotion haircut.
Yeah.
Um, from, from that picture, that's the last time Amy combed her hair. That's the last time because she always looked disheveled in every picture with the bob. Every single bob picture that she has, she looks disheveled. Like she just woke
she
up and
do.
walked out.
She do.
Like she just
Yeah,
woke up and walked the hell out the door. Like,
she
and
look
her
like
husband, this is crazy. Her husband said that when she left out of that meeting after shooting 6 people, killing 3 of them, when she called him, I think it was Amy Banfield, did an interview with him. She asked him, like, did her demeanor, like, how did she sound? Basically, he said she sounded normal, like her voice didn't change. She was just the same. Like, there was nothing that changed for her. I think that Amy, like, she had been losing her shit for a long time, but I think that she really lost it right after the shooting. Like, that she was done after that. Like, her mind was just completely blown after that. Like, she had lost her tether to reality after that point. Like, she's not. I think she went there with the intent to shoot those people. So yes, she's guilty as shit because she had a gun and she meant to shoot those people. But I think after she did it, she was delusional in the same way that she was delusional after she shot her brother. Like it's no big deal. It
Yeah,
was
she
not.
went in there, threw her bloody clothes in the trash, and caused her husband about it. We still got date night. Like you come, no, she said you can come pick me up now.
Yeah.
And she said, we still got date
oh,
night.
she acted like she was delusional.
I think she has a way of blocking stuff out, just how she did when her brother died, how she didn't get counseling anything, and she just blocked out his killing, and how she was able to deal with it is by delving into her studies, and that's how she became this big time great student down to the college. But nobody talked about it. She slept with her parents for a little while, and then nobody talked about it. Then she writes a book about somebody who has a son that looks just like the son that she killed, but the lady wasn't, I can't remember what the person was, but she writes this book about how the baby looks just like her brother, the brother that she killed, like, and clear, and then says it's fiction and it has nothing to do with her life. Like she had to just like kind of turn off part of her brain. Like she never received any help.
Right. And then ironically, her son, whom she named after her brother, Seth, is also Brady said he was also a violinist, like her dead brother. And earlier this year, Brady just saw this. In April of this year, her 20-year-old son was shot and killed by his friend. That son was also born on the same day as her brother.
Yep, same name.
So her son and her brother were born on the same day. She gave him his name and he died in the same way. If that is not karma kicking you in the ass.
I think she has some mental problem, but I just think that at the end of the day, she thought she can get away with it. I just really do. I don't think she was that disattached.
Yeah,
I think she mentally chose to be disattached to help her get through what she had been doing.
Yeah.
And I think when you're making that in your head, because she's already thinks that she's outsmarting everybody. She thinks she's smarter than everybody. So in her mind, okay, well, you know what? I can just do it and then, move on my life. So I think, I mean, she killed her brother. I mean,
And
she
she
didn't
said,
tell the truth. Nobody even knows why she shot him. She
I'll just
feels.
push it in the back of my mind and keep going like I've been doing. That's what she does. But it comes
Do
out.
anybody know why? Nobody still to this moment know why she shot her brother. Because
We
it
know
wasn't
that
because she was cleaning the gun.
we didn't know. Well, she didn't like the girlfriend, but that has nothing to do with it. And the brother was a little bit more social and had friends more than she did. And he was an excellent violinist. So they
I
gave
don't
a
think that, but
they
Jealousy.
that
gave
wouldn't
an
be a reason to
example.
shoot him. It's
If he
Maybe
was
it's
better
ignorance.
than her,
jealousy.
if he
Like
was
the
better
brother,
than she was,
yeah, like the brother is everything she wants to be. He actually
Right. Well, then, and
excelled.
that's okay. If we're using
even
that as an argument, of her killing her brother because he was better than her, then at that point it's not that. Then it's because you're jealous. It's where your narcissist comes in and says, "Okay, well, you know what? You can't be better than me." Boom, boom. Oh, let's go on. It's not well, now I need the counseling to get past it. No, you're jealous, so you killed him out of jealousy. If that's going to be the backstory, I just
I mean, we really don't know why she killed her brother. But like
mm-mm.
they gave an example of one time the bullies, because he was nerdy looking, but he was just a little bit more social than her. Bullies came up to him to, making fun of him about him playing the violin, and they tell him to pull it out, to play something. And he plays it, and and they're in awe of him. Like, he's just, he played so beautifully. So I don't know. Maybe she was jealous. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe something happened to her when she was younger that we're not privy to, or
No, I was basing my opinion based on your theory. And I'm saying if that's the theory, then it still wouldn't add up as to it's because she needed help.
I
I
think
mean
that,
that I know. I think she just is a narcissistic person who thought she outsmarted
but
everybody
I think
and didn't
that,
like the fact that people do
sorry.
things or be better than she would be. That was the problem.
True. But don't you think that narcissism, at a certain point, you start to believe your
Oh
own
yes.
hype in your life? So I think
Ugh.
that turns into something mental. That turns into like it's true for what both of you all are what both of you are saying. Like Brandy says, she disassociates herself, so that's a disorder in its own. And the narcissism, you're adding that, so she disassociates when she does something out of jealousy or a strong emotion that attacks what she feels attacks her person, so she becomes a victim in every single situation that she necessarily
It's
causes.
not true.
So she believes in her own hype, and then she does something, and then she just associates from it. Like, it's not my fault. I didn't do it. What are you talking about? I would, like she really says, like, I wasn't even, like, I don't even understand what you're talking about. So it's like she's gaslighting everybody. She does it so well and she does it so much that she really believes now what she's saying. It starts off as, I just don't want to get caught, I don't want to get in trouble. But after a certain point, you really believe
Yeah,
what you just said. You believe your own lie. And so you're
that's what they
now
do.
you created or you've developed some mental issue within yourself. So I think
and you're only in your head. You're not talking about it with nobody. You
right.
write these stories. It's only in your head. So
And then no one checks you. No one tells you this is not true. No one tells you you can't do this. You cannot be this with people. They just let you go because they think that you're smart. And what do we do with smart people? We let smart people do, or people that we think are smart, we let them do just about anything. They can be weird. They can be, have these crazy idiosyncrasies. They can all this stuff because they're so smart. He's so smart. He's so smart. No, he's not. He's a fucking idiot, but he convinced you that he was smart because he could say the ABCs when he was two. So, so you just let that go and you just let them do whatever they want because you think that's part of their creative or academic process when it isn't. They're just crazy as hell. So I don't think she's insane. I think she's mental. I don't think she's insane. I think she knows exactly what she does. She just doesn't think she should be punished for it.
It is.
Yeah. And as far as the case with her brother, once he did the shooting in Huntsville, the prosecutor, the district attorney of the Commonwealth, reopen that case. So like 23 or 24 years after the murder, after her brother was killed, they reopened the case. At this point, because she is in Tutwiler prison, what's the city that's in Alabama, Brandy?
It's Wetumpka County.
Wetumpka,
It was in Wetumpka, Alabama. Sorry.
yeah, Wetumpka, Alabama, which is Wetumpka. Just think about it. Then she's been convicted of capital murder there in Alabama. Massachusetts they've reopened the case and it's open, but they've declined to, at this point, to extradite her to Massachusetts. But basically they're like, if she appeals in Alabama and any appeals are successful, if anything on her sentence changes in Alabama, Massachusetts will prosecute.
She already appealed, but they said her appeal was trash.
Yeah. So as long as her conviction holds up and her sentence holds up in Alabama, then Massachusetts will just hold it. But basically, it's a valid investigation. It's an open case there.
Yeah.
Let me tell y'all.
She apologized.
Yeah, I think she apologized because she got caught.
In 2015, she apologized. 5 years later, she apologized.
She got caught.
Yeah, that's okay. What you call it?
So listen, this is all the more reason that if y'all don't want to go to the meeting, Jackie can tell you how many times that we have had a company meeting in the conference room downstairs. And I'm like, I ain't going.
Yeah.
I ain't going. Our manager would be like, where's Brandy? Brandy's sitting at her desk.
Who didn't come? What was that black dude's name? I can't remember. Who never came with the bald head? Reggie. Reggie ass didn't go to damn meeting.
And never got in trouble.
But it is, it does make you think because you're in this confined room with doors shut, somebody standing at the doors. So it does make you,
You remember when Steve was like, we had one of those meetings and Steve was like, everybody come to the front. Everybody move to the front. I sat back there by that door and I was like,
ain't nobody gonna sit to the front.
This is the executive vice president of the entire company. And I waved my finger right at him. I was like, nope. He was like, no. Because if something jump off, I need to be able to get up out of here. I'm not about to sit in the middle of this school fish and everybody, no, nah. I gotta get up out of here.
We finna tackle the hoe at the door and getting the hell out of here.
And you know that conference room, that door was right at the edge of that parking lot. I was out. Every meeting that we had, I took my keys. I leave my purse upstairs.
You did take your keys in.
But every single meeting that we had in that conference room, I took my keys. Because if something jump off, I got to get the hell up. I'm going to be the one that's talking to the reporters, telling the story. There was about 58 people in there. And and the shooter, I can't say this man's name, but do you remember the dude that used to come to work with the cargo pants and the black t-shirt? He used to come to work. He had green cargo pants. I promise you. I know his name, but I can't say it. He had in his closet, because he told me, he had the same outfit. Every day to work, he wore either beige or army green cargo pants, a gray t-shirt or a black t-shirt every single day. On his desk, he had all those little Funko toys and shit. And also, this is how I knew that this man was going to tear this place up. Every day, he bought a metal aluminum lunchbox. Y'all know what was in this lunchbox? Cans of Dr. Pepper. Oh, yeah.
You said what was in there?
Cans of Dr. Pepper.
Oh.
This is crazy. Because he had in a lunchbox.
In an aluminum lunchbox. The one that looked like the bullet.
I remember him. I wish I did.
I'm gonna tell you his name when this is over because I can't say it on here because I don't, just in case
I
you
don't
remember
scare a
who I
lot of
am.
folks up in there.
Just
I'm
in case you
trusting
remember
no
who I
motherfucking
am.
body.
So he was the one. He used to be in the meetings and he would ask dumbass questions all the time. And I was sitting next to him one day and he kept asking questions and I was like, can you stop? And he kept on, I was like, man, don't nobody want to know this shit. And he kept on, I was like, don't nobody want to know this shit. We can ask the question later. And they would entertain him because they would keep answering the questions. And I'm like, why don't you keep answering him? And the reason why,
Oh,
I don't know. And the reason why,
oh, okay.
something that,
Oh,
he's
he was
still on
scary.
the and
He was scary as hell.
yes,
He had a monotone voice.
yes,
It was like,
remember he got
yes, got
fired?
a man. Now I'd be like,
Remember he got fired? And when he got fired, he said a couple choice words. Like he didn't put
did,
that up there. And I was like,
did.
look,
He sure did.
And I told him, and when he got fired, I said, listen, if y'all see me all of a sudden pick up my purse and just walk out, don't say nothing, just follow me.
He lost it. Yeah. I sure do remember that guy. Hal was nice to him when we was there late because I never wanted to get on his bad side because he looked so. He would just be, and he had kept a monotone voice at all times. And if you don't show excitement or any kind of emotion, that's scary. So
maybe he would have let you have a jump start and running.
The only time he got excited was
BW when he got fired. Let me tell you this: security was in there. They had to get security because he acted a plum fool. Never would have thought because he just was so just.
What did he get fired for? Not doing his job?
Well, it was something external. It didn't have anything to do with him doing his job. It had something to do. He was dating or seeing a girl that worked there as well, and I don't think she was feeling him like he thought she was, and he was doing a lot of things for her financially. And it went all the way wrong. And so he was basically stalking her at work. Like she still worked there, and he was stalking her. And so, well, they were kind of dating or whatever, and she was getting what she wanted.
It broke up, and he got bitter and lost it.
And he paid for her car. He bought her a car. He was doing all this stuff for her, and she broke up with him after she got what she wanted. But it wasn't. He was like, "You ain't gonna quit me," kind of thing. And so he was stalking her and harassing her. So she went to HR and it got to this big thing, and he got fired for that. He didn't understand that this ain't got nothing to do with this job. This is about me and her. So I'm gonna get fired for our relationship issues. And I was like, BW,
where we sat at was far away from HR. And put it this way, they take him in this little room after HR pretty much went in the building. They take him in this little room that's close to the door, and that's where they tell them and have them go ahead and leave, right? Me and Brandon sat at the back. You could hear him in the back firmly. He wasn't even yelling.
Down the hallway through 2 doors.
We're talking like a firm, hard. He wasn't like it was just so firm. I was like, oh shit.
Like a bass in his voice. Like
then you saw that fake ass security guy come, like he gonna do something. All he did was flirt with all women in there anyway. But he come up, I was like, oh shit, B. Had to get his ass out of there.
Listen, do you know I looked for him in that parking lot for a few weeks?
We're talking about we gotta make sure we're protecting ourselves. Pay attention. I'm like, girl.
Know your exits, Jackie. Know your exits. I'm just saying, know your exits because we gotta get up out of here.
You gonna kill that girl? If anybody, you gonna get her.
Yes, he was gonna take her ass out. It was a mess. So again.
Oh yeah, we were having escorts that day. Because we had to leave. I left after Brandy. They was escorting us to our cars.
And they was dead ass wrong because they never told you why they was escorting you out that building.
I sure did get escorted to my car that day.
I'm sure everybody heard.
After that, from that point when he got fired until when we left, we had 4 security guards at that building at all times.
And then when you leave out the back, most of us parked in the back. I remember that particular day. I mean, we didn't know what happened. We don't know the story. We just know he was upset. But they walked us to our cars. They had securities at the door that day. We were like, what's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Because Brandy had sent me a text like, "Girl, what's up there? Girl, they got people at the door." I was like, "Oh,
Yep,
okay."
and that's when we found out that a certain person that got fired, and then I did some digging and found out the whole story.
Mm.
So yeah, be
She's
cautious.
fucking nosy.
If you have a coworker who is disgruntled, do not go to the meeting. I'm trying to tell you,
Do
don't go to
not.
the meeting. Be in the bathroom, be sick, have the bubble guts, whatever you got to
And
come
don't
up.
act like you don't know, because you know which one of these. Mhm. You know which one of
Listen,
these.
I threw my anxiety. At the time, I didn't really tell people that I had anxiety and, that I had anxiety issue. Yeah, I'll be like, I'm not going to that meeting. I'll tell Stacy in a minute, like, I'm not going. She look, this was the first Stacy, not the second Stacy. But by the time we got to the second Stacy, I didn't give a shit about telling her shit. I'm just not going. But the first Stacy, I would tell her I'm not going because I got anxiety and I ain't taking my meds and I might nut up in her, so I can't go. I can't go. And if a dude got fired, I definitely ain't going. I'm serious. I'll
I
take
don't
these
know that.
calls. I'll take these calls. I ain't going.
You never did nothing.
Don't go to the meeting. Yeah, I didn't do shit at
I
work.
was in there. I was in there with her too.
And
They
that's
may have thought she was probably a damn building person not to go, because the way she sat there and looked at folks and looked, they probably thought the same thing about her. I wouldn't doubt if they thought she is crazy as hell.
I ain't gonna blow up the building.
With a straight monotone face. Just no.
I ain't going.
They're like, oh, you don't want to
Are
be.
you gonna
No,
participate in pilot?
no.
Are you gonna go get your lunch? I ain't come here for this. Checking for their check.
Much.
Yeah.
Good day.
Let Eddie Bishop be a cautionary tale to y'all. Don't go to.
You don't have to go to the meeting.
You don't have to go. They can email you, because guess what they're gonna do after the meeting? They're gonna send you a goddamn email. They're gonna send an email anyway, because they sent an email to tell you about the meeting and tell you what they were gonna discuss in the meeting, and then after the meeting, they're gonna tell you what they discussed in the meeting and what they're gonna discuss on the next meeting. Just send me the email.
Yep, don't go.
Don't go.
Don't go.
Listen, have the bubble guts, okay? Don't be afraid of the bubble guts. Don't be afraid of the BGs. And we're gonna leave you on that note. Thinking about your bubble guts on that next meeting. Because on Wednesday, I promise you they're gonna have a meeting at your job this Wednesday. The day after this show airs, they're gonna have a meeting. And this show is gonna come to your mind. And there is somebody at your job with a nasty, nappy ass bob. And if she's in that meeting,
Another Professor Jada Pick Bob.
she gonna have a Miss Purdy, and if she got a Miss Purdy, don't go to All right, y'all. Good night again for joining us. So we'll see y'all next week on this very show. Hopefully, Brady will be back with us in the flesh so you can see her face as well as hear the shenanigans coming out of her.
Lord willing.
The Lord willing and the creek don't rise. Brady will be with us.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. And so good night, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Good night.
Jackie.
The prayer service. We have a prayer service.